Let's begin from the education sector, where the Minister, Dr. Yao Osei-Edochum, has announced plans by the government to repaint all public basic schools from their current brown and yellow colors to blue and white, and has rolled out a new set of uniforms for basic school students as part of an initiative to rebrand public education. This was disclosed during a forum titled The Free SHS Story in Accra on Tuesday, April 23.
The Education Minister, as part of the rebranding efforts by the Education Ministry to enhance the image of public schools, announced the ministry's intention on repainting public schools and also change school uniforms. Dr. Edochum further revealed that this initiative is one of the many aimed at revitalizing basic education in the country and making it more appealing. According to him, this initiative is part of the government's effort to show critics that its focus is not solely on secondary education. This marks the second uniform change in the Akufo-Addo administration following the 2019 alteration by the then Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, now the Energy Minister. However, the move has been condemned by the Deputy Ranking Member of the Education Committee in Parliament, Dr. Clement Apak, who believes it is a misplaced priority. He cited the neglect suffered by public basic schools and the arrears in capitation grants, which are crucial to the functioning of basic education. Dr. Apak questioned why resources are being spent on rebranding public basic schools instead of addressing these pressing challenges.
Well, let's now engage Divine Bear, who is a fellow with the Africa Education Watch, and he joins us via phone for a conversation on this, development from the Minister of Education, the initiative to rebrand public schools. And good afternoon, Mr. Bear. Thank you for your time here on Newsbeat. Now, what are your initial reactions to the Minister's statements about the rebranding of public basic schools?
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me. The news is welcoming. I think we seriously have to look at our public basic schools, and when you look at the conditions that they are in, aside the fact that some are in dilapidated state, some of them, although they may be in good condition, they're painting very, very deteriorated. And if you enter the classroom, you not even feel comfortable. I have been a teacher before, and I know that at times I wake up going to school to teach, and the state of the classroom alone, not that the classroom is dilapidated, but the walls are dirty, the classroom's walls are dirty, people have written on them, there are a lot of stuff that even if you enter, you don't feel comfortable there, or even wake up and say, oh, I'm going to work, and comfortably step into the classroom. It's just demoralizing the state of the walls, even alone demoralized. So I think it's high time. Most of our public basic school, it's been a very long time that we have painted them, and we all know clearly, if you have been taking videos and pictures of them, you will see the state that they are in. I'm sure if they have received some uplift in terms of painting, that would be a sort of motivation and a sort of encouragement for both pupils and then students.
Okay. I mean, even though what you're saying is also true, the question also has been that the repainting of these school buildings and the changing of the screen forms, is it what we need now? Is it the priority right now?
Well, for me, when it comes to infrastructure at the basic education level, I know there are a whole lot of issues over there. We are having schools that are still under tree shades and dilapidated states. We're talking of over 5,000 of them. I know 2.3 million Ghanaian basic school pupils, public ones, of course, are not having desks to sit on. And of course, it's very important that we equally address these pressing needs. Notwithstanding, for a very fact that the state in which some of these classrooms was, which of course demoralize teachers and also pupils, it's very important that we give equal attention to repainting them. You know, it is something that we should have done for a very long time ago, but because we do not have fund for school maintenance, aside the capitation grant that heads of institutions are to allocate portion for minor repairs, we do not have any fund that is solely allocated for major rebranding of school or the refurnishing of our schools. We do not have funds that are solely dedicated for that. So that is why we have let our basic education infrastructure, some of them, to go so decay over the years. And it's very important, just as we need to address the desk shortages in the school, address the delayed nature of the school. It's very important that we make our school environment also look good. The reason why some people will even prefer sending their awards to private school is because the environment looks good, and that alone. And we know children, when you are dealing with children, when the environment is looking good, that alone attracts them. It's a motivation for them to wake up and say, oh, I'm going to school to learn. That alone also contributes to participation in school. So it's not just about saying we are having schools under trees, and therefore we have to finish solving all of that before we even make our school environment welcoming for both pupils and then teachers.
Okay, but Mr. Kwe, how would this improve education? You've mentioned that parents who would want to take their kids to school because of the environment and all that, but really, how would this improve education? Because some of these schools do not have textbooks. Some of these classrooms are not in the best of shapes. There are no teachers in some of these areas. So how really is this going to improve education in that sense?
I acknowledge that there are a lot of issues that have to be addressed, as I mentioned some of them. When it comes to looking at the condition of the school environment, asking how it will improve either access or quality, it has some way of improving. For instance, as I mentioned earlier, for me as a teacher, if I wake up and I'm going to school and the school environment is attractive, it's looking good, and I know I can dress very well. Sometimes teachers will tell you, no, I can't dress very nicely just to go and enter a classroom that is very dirty. So I wake up and know I'm going to school. I am happy because the environment alone is attractive. We won't want to enter into our offices, and our offices should look good. That alone for the day boosts our working morale. You want to put in extra because there's this sort of psychological effect on it. Positive one, of course. So you want to give in extra because your classroom environment alone is looking good. And for the pupils too, some of them will be motivated to be regular in school just because their school equally maybe looking like that of their private school colleagues that they have in their neighborhood. So they know that, look, we are not inferior. Our classrooms are equally as nice as you that is in the private school, and therefore I'm waking up, I'm going to school, I'm happy that I'm entering this classroom. But it has some sort of positive impact on enrollment and then on the part of teachers' participation or more ability to give in their full best in the classroom. Okay.
Also, I mean, on the lighter note about the colors that have been chosen, as mentioned by the minister, black and white and blue. Also, these colors, knowing that it's for the basic, school, can we keep up with the white, in these classrooms? Because you never know, whites could get dirty very easily, and we'd have to keep repainting these schools over and over and over again.
I agree with you that the color is something we have to really look at for a very fact that white is more exposed to dirt. And then also we are dealing with children that may not be too careful with how they handle white wall paint. So it's very important we really look at the colors that we are proposing or the government is proposing. Personally, I have issue with the white that is being proposed. I know that there's this sort of thinking that is going to it. Maybe they want the color of the colors of the wall to match with the colors of the uniform. I understand the uniform they are proposing is also white and then blue. So they want them to match. But it's very important we really look at not just the colors of the painting, but also the colors of the uniform. If you are asking basic school pupils to wear white throughout a week, I'm not sure they can handle even the brown one we've seen them using. You go to most of the rural schools and urban areas, you see how these pupils handle their uniform by the close of the week. Something that even a teacher, you enter the classroom, you don't want to be comfortable looking at their uniform. Some of them just have one uniform. They are unable to change to another one. So they wear that throughout the week. So I'm not sure these people can handle white uniform. It means that their parents will have to be investing in school uniform over and over again. And again. So we need to look at the color. That one is very critical.
I mean, just a quick one before you go. If you were to choose the colors, what would that be?
I don't have an idea, but I know that the minister wants to import what he's seen outside the country, especially he has lived in the U.S. and also running school in the U.S. He has seen some of these colors, and I'm sure he's trying to. But he has to take a look at the system and see which one could be more sustainable other than white. I don't have off mind any proposal to make. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Divine. He's a senior programs officer at the Africa Education Watch. Very interesting there. I know the conversation is still ongoing on social media. You can join us on our Facebook platform, Metro TV Ghana, and share with us your thoughts on this particular development. Now,